Hi, well, Best Kept Show. As you see, got my buddy Rahul with us, and he's from Irtiqa. Hello, my friend. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Professor. I'm so glad to be here.
So, before we talk about your idea, tell us a little bit about yourself. What should we know about you?
Uh, Thank you, Professor. So, hello, everyone. I am Rahul Pokhria, a grade 12 student from Uttarakhand state of India. I enjoy reading about physics, education, and society. And I am someone who always look forward to opportunities to learn, collaborate with others, and make meaningful ideas more accessible to young people. And over the past few years, I have had the opportunity to be part of multiple programs like FOTF by Teach for India, which done in India, and multiple community projects, and many of the science projects as well, like biodiversity initiatives. For example, Nature City Nature Challenge and the Inspire Manak science program. And these experiences introduced me to people from diverse backgrounds who were approaching problems with creativity, curiosity, and a strong sense of purpose. But more than the program themselves, it was the conversations that stayed with me, listening to people's journey, the challenges they faced, the questions they wrestled with, and the decision that shaped their work showed me that meaningful change often begin with curiosity and a willingness to ask from others. And that is what my passion and my curiosity.
So, tell me a little bit about your idea. Why did you start this? What opportunity? What need did you see?
All right. So as I mentioned that I have been part of multiple programs, and that realization eventually led me to co-create Irtika, a student-led podcast where we explore the ideas, stories, and experiences of people who are working to create a meaningful change in their society. And over the past few years, my friends Ananya and Chesta and I had the opportunity to be part of different internships, conferences, and learning spaces where we met educators, entrepreneurs, and researchers. And every time we came back, we would spend hours talking about the conversations we had there. What stayed with us were people's journey, the moments of uncertainty, the challenges they navigated, and the ideas that shaped the work they do. And we realized that these conversations are incredibly valuable, but there seem to have always limited seats to people who always happen to be in the room. For like no, everyone cannot be the part of that space, and we always kept wondering what if we can provide this space to everyone by inviting those guests, those change makers in our podcast, especially for students and educators who are working in the education field, and they could access these stories and realize that meaningful change is something ordinary people can also build over time. And that question eventually became Irtika. The initial idea came from me, but it quickly became something the three of us, Ananya and Chesta, along with me, we built together. And we spent months discussing about the kind of conversations we wanted to create and the purpose behind them. And the name, the Irtika, it comes from an Urdu word which means evolving through thought, courage, and action. And that continues to guide everything what we are doing today. So today, Irtika is a student-led initiative that everyone knows, who is working to build a public archive of voices through conversations with change makers. We try to understand not just what they are doing, but how they got there, their experiences, their decisions, and what are the values they that stayed with them in that journey. And one of the most encouraging part of this journey has been seeing people we deeply admire touch three students with their stories. We have had the privilege of speaking with very inspiring guests, and we are also currently coordinating conversation with people who are renowned for doing exceptional work in their fields. if the viewers want to find out who they are, so they have to keep up with our channel, Irtika, an archive of voices. And something that really stood out for us was one comment that has stayed with all of us. It was from a student who said, I wish I had access to these conversations when I was in school. And that reminded us the power of what we are building and what we are creating. And at its heart, Irtika is not just about recording interviews. It is also about thoughtful conversations, how we can make thoughtful conversations accessible, and how we can create a space where anyone can discover these ideas and journeys that encourage them to think differently about the world and about their role that they can play in the world to make this world better for everyone.
So tell me about some of the challenges and opportunities you've had so far building this idea.
If I have to mention challenges, one of the most rewarding parts of building Irtika has been about learning everything from scratch. So none of us had made a podcast before, so every stage was new. We learned how to build a brand, write outreach email, and even record conversations and like editing, publishing, all of these technicalities that are required. And every challenges became very part of our learning process. I think one of the best decision we made was simply being willing to ask. Some of the guests we reached out felt completely out of our reach, but we approached them somehow. And looking back, many of our biggest opportunities came from taking those chances. So if we would not have taken those chances, so maybe we cannot have a very diverse set of people in our show. So there have also been plenty of moments that taught us patience. I remember one week where we had prepared for 3 interviews for consecutive 3 days, and all three ended up being postponed. And it was something purely unpredictable and unexpected. But looking back, it is one of those stories we laugh about because it reminded us that building something is not we can actually predict, and it is not about a linear and a constant path. Since the three of us are classmates, so Irtika naturally became part of our everyday lives. We would discuss ideas during our school breaks, prepare questions after schools, and even sometimes staying school after the school is ended. And we always kept asking for feedback in order how we can keep improving every conversations. So looking back, overall, I would say the process of building it together has been just as meaningful as the podcast itself.
So tell me, where do you see this idea in 3 years from now? What are you hoping to have accomplished?
I hope in 3 years from now, Irtiga is known less as a podcast, but more as a place where people come to learn from the journeys of others. And I would also love to see our conversations being more diverse, bringing together voices from different countries and professions, which we are actually trying to build now as well. And I would also love for us to do even more in-person conversations, not just the virtual ones, but in-person conversations, and gradually expand into different articles, written reflections, and even other forms of storytelling. So Irtika grows into the public archive, which we have always imagined. At the same time, I hope we never lose the reason why we started, because with time, when like for many of us, when we start growing and when we start chasing success, our reason is lost in that way. So we really hope that our reason must not be lost. And for us, success has never been about views or subscribers that we are having in our videos, but it is more about how we can create meaningful conversations that stay with people. So I believe if someone discovers Irtika a few years from now and finds one conversation that helps them to think differently, see a new possibility, or believe that meaningful change is something they can contribute to, I think we will have achieved what we set out to do.
What's the best way for people to reach out to you? How can they get in touch with you, learn more?
Yeah. So we are available in LinkedIn, Instagram, and YouTube as well. And for our Gmail ID, it is teamirtika@gmail.com. And our LinkedIn page is Irtika, an archive of voices.
Awesome. I appreciate you taking a few minutes to call the show. And as always, thanks for being my friend.